What's going on, everybody? We have a SGC return today. I believe it's 33 cards. I think 32 of them are Sam Laporta. So we're going to go ahead and break these open for you. And this kind of was inspired by some people in the Detroit Lions memorabilia group in Facebook. Now, some of you may be wondering, Tyler, why did you submit through SGC instead of PSA? And the quick answer is that I just think that SGC, for the money and the turnaround time, is just better. I think maybe with like the really big cards, maybe PSA is the way to go, but at $15 a card with 7 to 10 day turnaround time, it's pretty hard to beat. And so that's why I chose to go that route. I have done PSA, and I did the $40. I don't remember what the turnaround time was, like 60 day or something like that, and I did get it roughly around that time. But you know, having 33 cards or so, I don't know, I was more excited to get them back in a timely manner. And plus, with like new releases, getting them back sooner rather than later is it's a big plus, because if you can beat the PSA market, then you know you can potentially get PSA money, if not more. So we're going to open up the big box here. I know what a lot of the grades are. I don't quite remember what grade goes with what card. I do know the cards that are in here. These are mostly all Donruss. My attempt was to collect the rainbow, but there's a guy in Michigan who collected the 101, opened it up in a hobby box, I believe, in Detroit. And so he wanted like $5 grand for that card, which that card is not worth anything near $5 grand. So there goes that rainbow. He may sell it down the road, but I'm not paying anywhere near what he's asking for it. I offered him like $1,500, which is still like twice as much as what that card is actually worth. And he still didn't want to take it. So whatever, that's on him. So let's see. The top is this way. And there goes that rubber band. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and do the big box first. And I can see right now what this grade is. And I don't like this grade because I don't think it's an accurate representation. This here is the Rookie Gridiron Kings of Sam Laporta. It is the error. It is stamped. I don't know if you'll be able to see it on camera, but you can see the embossment of it, where it's like the machine came down to put it on, but it just didn't actually go on. So I don't know what the deal with this was, but there's some errors of these out there. I know people collect them. This got a 6. From what I was told by some friends of mine, they said that these error cards tend to grade out a 6 in perfect condition, but you get the 6 because it's not, the card itself isn't all there, even though it's well known to be an error card. So that's just what I was told. Whether that's truth or not, I have no idea. So that's our first card. Got a 6 on the Rookie Gridiron King Sam Laporta error. It's a great looking card, I feel. So our next card, we have a blue press proof Sam Laporta. Got a gem at 10, as expected. So I don't know what these cards are selling for. I don't really necessarily care either. Next card is a Optic Preview green and red prism, red and green rather, gem at 10. This card, I wasn't so confident that it was going to get a 10. You can see the centering from left to right is not, I don't feel it's all quite there. And then top to bottom, I feel the top is thicker than the bottom. So I'm not I'm happy that I got a 10, but I'm not sure, maybe like a 9.5 I would be expecting to get. Our next card is the Optic Preview Green Velocity Prism. It's got a 10. The centering is there for a 10. Well, sorry for the glare. I'm in the basement. We have a lot of can lights up down here, I should say, so we're probably gonna get some glare out of that. So got another 10. We have a Optic Preview Hollow Prism, a 9. Centering top to bottom is close, but I think the top is thin. Left to right looks to be about even. Corners look good. So I'm not sure exactly what they saw comparing some of these past couple to some of these other lower grades. I don't know the discrepancy between them, so I'll take it though. Next card, we have a Gridiron Kings, just a regular base Gridiron Kings, gemmed up for a 10. Looks pretty good to me. I guess maybe we'll put our 10s here and 9s. And our, I know we're going to have some 9.5s, some 10s. I know that there's an in-between there. So we'll do that. Next up, we have our Gridiron King Studio Series, numbered 5 out of 100. Hit the gem 10. I was not entirely confident this would get a 10. The bottom left corner here is it's got a white tip. Small, it's a small white tip, but it's there if you look. Happy it gemmed. And then the gem. Next card is a Rookie Revolution Cosmic 71 out of 100. We got a 9 on that. Sorry for the bump. I don't necessarily know why this one didn't gem up. The corners look better than the Gridiron King Studio. The surface looks fine, but it is what it is. Next card, we have its cousin, the Cubic 9 out of 50. I got a 9 on that. Maybe the top left corner, it's got a little mishap there. Once again, it is it is what it is. And you may be asking yourself, did you preview these before you sent them out? And the answer is yes, I did. And the reason why I sent them out regardless is because I PC Sam Laporta, and I was wanting to get the rainbow. And to me, for my collection, I didn't really care necessarily whether it got a perfect 10 or not. These were my cards that I went out and got, and I just wanted them slabbed up. And I personally am of the view that I don't necessarily think that it's not worthwhile to grade your cards regardless of what you think it's going to get, because sometimes you might be surprised. You may get a 10, and really at the end of the day, when you go to sell these online, it kind of doesn't matter what you think they are or what you say. The buyer is never just going to believe you. They're always going to think that you have a reason to lie to them. But if you have your cards graded through somebody else, they're going to believe that company. And like I said, sometimes you're surprised. And it's also nice just to have, somebody to sit there and say, this card is this. For both parties to know what its grade is. And, you can argue, like this card. We could argue all day long whether this is a 9 or this is a 10. you know, that's up for debate. We know that there's a certain amount of error with these companies. You know, they take quick glances at these cards. I don't know how many seconds they look at these cards, but it's probably not a lot with how many come through their door. And you know, they probably miss some stuff. Like I have a SGC 10 silver variation of CJ Stroud, and it had a couple dimple marks up here from when it was made, and they gave it a 10. So I don't know. Our next card is the red, white, and blue Prism. It's gemmed up with a 10. I did think that this would get a 10. It's pretty close all the way around. You could argue from left to right. It's a little bit skinnier on the left. But I do think SGC probably gives you a little bit of wiggle room on your centering. So PSA, definitely this would have got a 10 as well. So I'm not going to argue with that at all. Our next card is the Aqueous Test 9.5. Aqueous Test on the back here. I don't know. I guess the centering left to right is a little bit thicker on the left. But you know, like with these, you know, 9.5. Why does it get a 9.5? You know, like, do the chromes just grade better than the papers? I don't know. My kid's throwing a fit in the background. But 9.5. Moving on. Next up, we have just our base Sam Laporta 10. Maybe left to right is a hair skinnier. Top to bottom, bottom's skinnier. But they said it was a 10, so we'll take it. Next card is not a Sam Laporta. This is a Green Wave Bryce Young 9.5. I honestly, Jesus Christ, man. I thought this may get a 10. And it did not. But it got close, so whatever. Next up, we have our black and white checker Prism. It's gemmed up pretty nicely. I thought that it would, and it did, and I'm happy about that. Yeah, this is a cool card. I like it. All right, next up we have our Optic Preview Blue Scope Prism. We got a 9.5 on this one. This one I thought excuse me. Would you stop? What do you want? Huh? You want cocoa melon back on? Stop. I'm trying to put something on that is not cocoa melon. All you ever want to watch is cocoa melon all the time. Cocoa melon, cocoa melon, cocoa melon. Watch something that's not gonna rock your brain, dude. Jesus. Have kids, they said. Have kids. They're awesome. All right. Like I said, I was hoping maybe that, I don't know, maybe that top right corner. It's hard to tell. But it looked good. Surface looked good. I thought the corners had looked good. I mean, it's not a terrible grade. 9.5. Once again, it is what it is. Next card, we have the Red Wave Prism. 9.5. Let's see if we can see anything. I think the centering looks pretty close. Yep. So, I mean, I can't I can't, maybe the top is a little bit skinnier on centering, but it is what it is. Our next card is a purple prism, gemmed up with a 10. The card looked pretty good, I think. We're gonna see top to bottom looks pretty close. 24 out of 50. On the back, the centering's better. Well, it's thicker on the right side. But yeah, they give it a 10. Our next, oh my god, man. Next card is a silver press proof die cut 2 out of 75. I did not think that this would get a 10. Die cuts rarely ever get a 10. And it looks like there's a small little dimple right there. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy with a 9.5. That's as close as I thought it was ever going to get. And to get that close. Next card, I did not see this when I purchased the card, as I'm sure people take pictures to hide these things. And you can only see so much through a few photos. We have the gold press proof 10 out of 50, and I got an 8.5. And I'm not surprised because, let's see if I can see it. Not this gold. I mean, there's a small dimple down here. If I remember correctly, there was like what looked to be like scratching, and I can't see it right now. So maybe it was a different one. I mean, this bottom left corner is a little lifted, just barely lifted in the bottom left corner. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe that right there. But 8.5. Maybe it should have got a 9. But there is one card that goes in this spot that I'm gonna have to, I don't know, it's should have got less, I would think. But anyways, moving on. We have a yellow press proof, and we got a 9. And I don't know, ticky tacky. Maybe should have got a 9.5. But not gonna complain. And we have a big card here. I don't know if you would call it a monster. At the time, it was a monster. And that would be the Gold Ice Prism, 9 out of 10. And it got a 10. I did 100% believe that this would get a 10, and it did get a 10. And this card, I can't get the full rainbow of Sam Laporta from this set because that guy's got the 101. But what I can shoot for is the optic preview rainbow in SGC 10. And that is probably something that I will try to accomplish. And I have the out of 10, so I'm looking pretty good there. And I've got, a handful of the other optic previews in 10 here, so I may shoot for that. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and put that in the 10 pile, and there's the 9 out of 10 there. And I do like how SGC lets you put your serial number on the label, so that way, you don't have to go hunting for it. You could just easily see it on the label. I do like that. Next up, we have the optic preview auto. 10 auto, 9 card. I don't know that 9 is correct. Seeing some of these other cards, I think maybe 9.5 they found something, but I didn't see anything on this card when I sent it. I mean, I don't know, maybe that's a little speck up there. I don't know. A little ticky-tacky. So, yeah, I'll have to see if I can get another one of these. Try it again. Next and last card for this box is the green press proof, I guess you would call it, auto. And it got a 10 auto, 8.5 on the card. I could see why it got such a bad grade. The top left corner up here, it's whited. If you catch it in the right light, it almost looks like it's rounded. The top right corner, it's whited. All four corners, really, it's whited. So I'm okay with that grade. I think it's earned. All right, let's open up our final box, the little one. This box has, I don't know if you would call it a banger. There's a 1 of 1 in this box. And it got a grade that probably higher than it should have got. So I'm not going to be upset about it. And it's actually the top card. So I'm just going to reveal it. And this is the Sam Laporta Rookie Sweaters 1 out of 1 shield. And it got an 8. And I know that these thicker cards, they don't tend to grade very well. Given that, when I bought this card, I didn't see many issues with it. I figured it probably wouldn't grade all that well, but when I got the card at the bottom, it had what appeared to be some sort of like a bit of fraying at the bottom. It's like the bottom of the card was chipped up. The corners and the edges, just, it's not that great of a card. It's cool because it's 1 of 1. It's cool because it's Sam Laporta. It's cool because it's part of the set that I was trying to get the rainbow on, and I got the 1 of 1. And would this sell for as much as I paid for it? Maybe a little bit more because it's 1 of 1 and it's graded. But I mean, how does this get an 8 and this gets a 6 when this card is like, outside of the error of it, it's a perfect card? But yet this one, this got, you know, it's a thick boy and it's just not the best condition overall. But yet it gets graded higher than that error card. I don't know. Moving on. We have Elite Series, the rookies, 64 out of 299. We got a 10 auto, 9 card. My experience with these auto cards, I have yet to get a 10-10. So I don't know, and I talked with a guy at a show, and he said that he experienced the same thing, that it's pretty hard to get a 10-10, that they almost always give you a 10 auto, 9 card. So like I said, it is what it is. I'm just gonna go ahead and put it over here because I'm running out of room. Next up, we have the blue press proof auto, 10 auto, 9 card. It's got, I didn't think it would get a 10. Centering is top to bottom. The top's a little bit thicker, but this top right corner here is a little whited. Top left corner is a little whited. It's so hard to get these paper cards to get a good grade. So, yep, 10-9. Moving on. We have a base auto, 10 auto, 9.5 card. 9.5, I mean, maybe the centering. Left to right, left a little bit thicker. But, I don't know, looks pretty good on the back. So, yeah, 10, 9.5. Moving on. Sam Laporta, jersey number, 5 out of 87. We got a 9 on that. Let's see if we can see anything on this. Okay, so bottom right corner is lifted. I see an imperfection right there. So yeah, 9. 9's probably, maybe 9 might be a little generous. Having that corner and that defect right there. 9, maybe like a 8.5 or something. Probably more accurate. But that's what they say it is. Next up, we have a Optic Preview Pink Prism Gem at 10. This one looked accurate, except for right there. I honestly did not think that this would gem up. It's got this little spot right there. Is that on the card or the plastic? Looks to be on the card. Just a little spot right there. Nothing crazy, not a gouge, it's just a little mark. But they gemmed it up for me, so I'll take it. We'll see how many of these Optic 10s we can get. Next up, I know this card. I knew it would not get a 10. I'm honestly very surprised it got a 9.5. This is the season stat line, 55 out of 58. I did get this card from a member in the Detroit Lions memorabilia group. And this bottom left corner is lifted. It came in that way. And there's a mark down here on the bottom. I don't know if that's a smudge or what that is. I don't remember that being there when I got it, but I do know this corner was lifted when I got this card. But they gave it a 9.5. I thought that was generous. But it is what it is, the common saying in the grading world. Next up, we have a silver press proof 66 out of 100. We got a 9.5 on it. I don't recall anything wrong with this card when I sent it. I mean, maybe there's something going on with that top left corner. But 9.5. 2 cards left. Second to last card. We have a Sam Laporta no name. And we got a 9.5 on that. I don't see anything wrong with this card. Other than, the centering, the top is really thick compared to the bottom, I suppose. But I guess other than that, there's nothing wrong with it. So, it's a cool card, though. I like those no names. I like the full name. I wish Sam Laporta had a full name. And our very last card of this video is going to be a red press proof Gem 10. Spacing's fairly good. Maybe the top's a little bit thicker. But they gemmed it up. So, that's it. We have, I don't know, let's get these 10.9s and 9.5s out of here and see what we really have. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Put our other 10s there. So we got, move those over. We'll put those there. Okay. So there's our gem 10s over there. We got our 10 9.5 and 10 9s. Those are the autos. And then we have our 9.5s here. We have our 9s. We have a 10 8 and an 8.5, or a 10 8.5 rather. And then we have our 8 and then our 6. So I suppose, I mean, relatively good, should we say? I mean, we got more 10s than any other thing, but stacking all these combined, we have more sub 10s than 10s. So successful or no, I don't know. I don't necessarily really care either. I'll probably start selling off the non-optic previews. As I said, I can't get the rainbow anymore, and I don't really feel like waiting for the right place and right time to get the 1-of-1 die cut to do the rainbow. Plus, I've already sold off the gold auto out of 25, so I don't really want to go down that road again. So yeah, all the optic previews I'll probably keep, and I'll try to get that whole set. I've got the Black Pandora out of 25, a 10, and I have the the fireworks is down roast. There's another big optic that I have that's a 10. So yeah, I'm not necessarily surprised by the autos being non-1010. Not surprised by that at all. I'm surprised this graded as high as it did. I'm surprised that this graded as low as it did. So what do you guys think? Do you think the grades were justified? Do you feel that SGC is they're not as accurate, or do you think they're as accurate? Do you think that they are pretty generous when they shouldn't be, or do you think that they try to make up, for a low grade here, they give a high grade here? What are you guys saying? Do you think it's becoming more worth it to send into SGC rather than PSA? Like I said, I like the speed of SGC. I like the cost. I guess if you're doing like a bulk submission to PSA where it's like $20 a card, that might be worth doing it. But I don't always have a lot of cards to send to PSA, so I don't personally feel the urge to do that. I will say this about SGC. SGC says on their website it's a 7 to 10 day turnaround time. At this point in time, I've done 2 submissions to them, and both times have exceeded that 7 to 10 day window. This submission was more of like a 14 to 20 day window. I just got them back today. I don't have the website up to tell you when I sent it out, but it was longer than what they are saying. And they'll tell you that they're doing promotions and stuff, and so they're getting more in than they anticipated, and that's why they're behind. But I will say, if you know you're doing promotions, maybe you should update your website to say that it's going to take longer than 7 to 10. And 7 to 10 should not be taken as an exact window, but maybe like 7 to 14, or that's kind of my. If you're going to say 7 to 10, I'm going to give you a few extra days to get, maybe you're on back ordered or whatever. But like if it's going to take 20 days to get stuff back, like don't say 7 to 10. That's kind of lead me down the wrong road there. So that's going to be it for me. I appreciate anybody who's watched this. Feel free to comment or like this or whatever you want to do with it. I appreciate your time, and have a good one. Bye.